how many ayes and how many nays coming up for One India, One Price for Gold? Our moderator for this debate, having a very tough ask at his hands, is Mr. Shivanshu Mehta, the VP Bullion for MCX. The speakers are Mr. Dileep Narayanan, Head Bullion and Treasury, Malabar Group. Of course, Mr. Avinash Gupta is coming up, all guns blazing for the topic, the Vice Chairman for GJC. The speakers against the topic, Mr. Surendra Mehta, National Secretary, IBJA, and Gagan Bhai, Executive Director, MMTC-PAMP India Limited. So everyone, as I leave this session with Mr. Shivanshu Mehta, तो एवरीवन तैयार हो जाइए, अपने दिल को थाम लीजिए, अपनी कुर्सी की पेटी बांध लीजिए, क्योंकि ये होने वाली है एक बहुत जबरदस्त उड़ान.
So this takes us right back to school. I'm getting that feeling, for the motion, against the motion. Or is there a buzzer also? What's up? That whoever, the quiz type of feeling. But good. Okay. So boys, I am the teacher for now, for some time.
Not teacher, sir, professor.
Professor. So you can leave the other hats out of the ring and let us be, as you're all aware, we have on our right hand side, Mr. Dileep Narayanan from Malabar, Mr. Avinash Gupta. Apart from the silver business, he's also representing GJC. On my left is Surendra Bhai Mehta, known voice of the industry from IBJA. But otherwise, now this is not a GJC IBJA thing at all. I'm in the crossfire, so please. And there we have Mr. Gagan from MMTC-PAMP with a national perspective on refining and sales. And I also leave my hat out of the ring. Okay. So I think the debate is well set out. India, with its diversity and its regional markets and history of gold being part of the cultural fabric, socio-economic fabric, is there a case for or against there being a singular unitary price of gold across the country? Are there any benefits to it? Are there possibly any negative sides to it? What exactly it is, we'll try and unravel. And of course, internationally, there are certain benchmarks available, of course, which mean that there is a one price of gold, which is tracked by spot markets. In India, you have the exchanges, where there is a single price of gold used by the entire industry to hedge. So I will begin this debate by starting with for the motion on the right-hand side, for the simple sake of the onus, then shifting to against, just to set the context. And I'll start with, the experimentation of this one nation, one price. While one place it takes place is exchanges. The other is, of course, IBJA has a spot price which is used by the RBI for settlement of the sovereign gold bonds, and they have a declared price every day. MCX has a declared price every day for futures as well as spot. Now, Malabar, interestingly, as I understand, Dileep, and you can correct me wherever wrong, you have taken a lead in terms of the jewelry industry maintaining a single price across its own stores, its own outlets, whether they are in Maharashtra or Gujarat or New Delhi or far out into Calcutta or the south. Now, I would like to know what was the thought process behind it, how has it fared, and what, according to you, are the advantages which are playing out after having done this? And you can speak as an industry professional. It's not necessarily only about Malabar. Yeah.
So, yeah, it's a very interesting story which happened around almost 4 years before, when we started this One India, One Gold price. The whole idea of starting this is basically, we had been debating about this for a long time, that as a chain store, we had stores in all over India, and people walking to different states and different places, they used to mention that the price in one city or in one state is different from than another one. And we kept on debating about it almost for 2 years, and we had also spoken to a few associations, or also is a part of that discussions, we threw this idea to a lot of people, a lot of industry partners, a lot of association members. Everyone was quite welcoming it, but then nobody was ready to take the first step onto it. And now, why were we planning for this is basically because the transparency was required in the industry, and there need to be some kind of a benchmark pricing for all over India. Okay, so based on that, in 2020, if I'm not wrong, around mid of 2020, we started this One India, One pricing. Initially, there was definitely a lot of setbacks. Our margins fell like anything. I mean, because there was various prices and various board rates in various cities. So definitely it did have a great impact on our margins. But as years passed by, as the days passed by, people started understanding, we started educating them properly. We started educating them what is gold price apart from VA. VA is something what the jeweler really earns, the value addition. But gold price, I mean, when the customs duty is one, when the VAT, when the earlier VAT and now the GST is one, so why shouldn't be the price be one? Until unless there is a huge volatility in during the day, why shouldn't be the gold price be the same for all over the place? That's where we had come into this conclusion. This idea was successful after almost a year now, and after a year, and now we find that most of the jewelers, at least I would say, the chain stores and even single stores have started following us. Now, there is one more thing to it. This price, what we are deciding, is not been. It has not been asked to be implemented by everybody. Okay, this price has been decided by our company, and that's a benchmark price in the morning. Now, who wants to follow what is something which the associations have to decide, and we are still on discussion. We are still ready for any kind of a benchmarking pricing, provided there is a transparency to it. I hope I'm clear about it.
So you're talking about possibility of accepting a general domestic benchmark by everyone. And you're saying you're open to it, provided there is a fundamental justification, transparency behind that. I see.
Absolutely.
But what has been, very quickly, one last, you mentioned that you would also discuss the methodology. Is there any specific methodology you adopt, or is it like a landed price?
So it's not a big rocket science. It's a simple methodology. Early morning when the FX market also opens, you get both the rates, the spot market rate and the FX rates based on that, because the shops open by around 10 o'clock.
Right.
So, and it has, I mean, in chain stores, I'm sure you'll be aware that, the price has to be entered in the system and it's not derived manually.
Right.
So we derive that by 9 o'clock, and then we also try to verify that with the various associations, and we try to match off the average price, and based on that we place it.
Sure. No, I get that. So on one hand, we have a national level jeweler at the, maybe on the organized side of things, maybe in the top 1, 2, 3, who has experimented and found the crux of it. What I could hear is that he found it to be useful as a customer, sort of an initiative, also transparency wise, and also he says that after the initial few months or maybe the first year, it has also been okay in terms of margin. Now, before I come to Surendra Bhai and Avinash ji, I will quickly go across to Gagan, who is actually running the business at the leading refiner of the country, who is also procuring on a long-dated contract basis the input material, and who's pricing the gold into India, selling directly to B2B, as well as there's a B2C network. Would you like to throw light on what is your take on this first?
Sure. Thanks, Shivanshu. So, the take what we have on this is, the sourcing cost, the manufacturing cost, the vaulting cost, and the cost of moving the metal from one source to the point of sales is quite high. So, it all depends on the demand at what location the metal is and where the demand is. So all these things, when we work out, the price cannot be the same at each location at any given point of time. That's the take what we have. Because again, all the prices and the premiums are basically done as per the demand at each place in the country. It's a huge country. I have metal in Delhi, the demand is in Guwahati. The funding cost for 2 days, the metal movement cost, the movement of those 2 days, the finance cost of the 2 days, it cannot be the same.
But do you often hear this sort of if I may use, for want of a better word, market voice or criticism, that the prices are slightly less transparent, or there is some buffer for the agent there, and then backwards from there is.
No, nothing like that.
Okay. So you are comfortable with a multi-location, multi-price?
Definitely.
Model. And
That's
what would be
that's
the
way we
variance, Gagan? What would be the sort of variance that we are dealing with? It's, after all, it's gold. It's not something which can be completely, variant. Percentage-wise, between these prices, let's say maxima minima.
The maximum is 0.25% to 1%.
So 0.25% to 1% on gold.
Yes.
Interesting. And this is all bullion, bar and coin.
Yes.
Interesting. So we have a jeweler who is saying something else, and a refiner who's having a different model. And this is bullion, this is jewelry. Very interesting. Now I come to Avinash ji. So, one by one, and then to Surendra Bhai. You are also running a business which deals with manufacturing, fabrication, export, and when we give a firm price to any party outside the country, they would like a clear-cut logic and a price fix over a certain time period. You also have sales domestically. There, what are the merits you feel of keeping a single price across the country in that business? And do you think if your overseas customers were to get involved with you on a long-term basis, would a single price on a single logic be more advisable or not?
See, when we are talking about one nation, one rate, we are talking for end consumer as well as jewelry per se. And when jewelry is there, the cost of landing along with the alloys mixed into it is the landing price. That is how you will be reaching out on the price of the gold to be sold. Rest everything is value addition, as rightly told by Dileep ji. So what we are debating today is the right price we should be quoting to the consumer. Now, if we are talking about one nation, one rate, as Gagan Bhai has also told, that there will be little bit of variations location-wise. There might be a little bit of cost addition because of the logistics or the small quantity, big quantity, that might be there. So, taking into consideration everything, we can have a standard price of the gold. Value additions vary from design, value addition vary from premiumness or whatever is that particular store want to take. That is a different debate. Now, we need to understand one important subject. Today, when we were talking about the consumer rights, or when we wanted to talk about the right price at which the consumer should get or not, that is the basic thing. And after HUID coming in, now the platform is standard. Now, when a standard platform is there, the consumer trust is growing. But there is a distrust which is there towards the jeweler is on the price what they are quoting or what they are charging on the gold, which is the basic raw material cost. It is not the value addition or the design cost which we are asking for. That is a totally different thing. Anybody can do whatever they want. Now, if there is a standard price at which we will be selling to the consumer trust in the industry will grow. And for that reason, we need to have one nation, one rate. That will grow the confidence of the consumer towards the industry, and that will drive the industry towards the growth. Otherwise, we are having a lot of trouble, and we will be in troubled waters again because of this particular thing.
Fair point. I take your point about the consumer trust, and I see it being echoed in both the end consumer businesses. So is that the factor? Let's see, let's find out. I'll quickly now come to Surendra Bhai. Surendra Bhai is also National Secretary of IBJA, where there is a declaration, and you can please correct me wherever wrong, of a daily price. This price is now even being linked to the RBI through the API. The RBI uses your prices because it's a one price, a spot price for the SGB. What are the compelling reasons for you, and I would like you to elaborate whether it's because your members are smaller jewelers in regions as well. So what are your compelling reasons to be on this side of the debate, and any overall background you would like to provide?
Thank you, Shivanshu. See, first of all, everybody needs to understand what IBJ is doing. IBJ is declaring a daily reference benchmark price. It doesn't come out of air. There is a mechanics involved. There is a methodology involved in generating this price. We are 106-year-old association, and we have been finding the benchmark price for last 93 years. And let me tell you, there is not a single dispute till today on our benchmark price. And that is why probably the Finance Ministry and Reserve Bank of India have decided to take IBJ daily declared gold price as the benchmark price or the reference price for sovereign gold bond. One more thing, let me tell you, it is not only for sovereign gold bond issuance or redemption. These prices are also used by the banks and NBFC for lending against jewelry, because they also needs to have some price. Otherwise, each bank will, one bank will compete with the other bank. Ki, I will give you more price, you lend the jewelry to me. So it is used there also. The third place where it is used is by all the investigating agency like income tax, GST, DRI, ED, various other CBI, all other agencies. Suppose there is a seizure of jewelry, at what rate the valuation is to be done? Suppose you have some jewelry in your house, at what rate the valuation is to be done for wealth tax purpose, for income tax purpose? So IBJ rates are being used for that purpose. And these benchmark prices are derived out of polling from 29 participants on a daily basis, and there is an entire methodology which is transparently displayed on our website www.ibjarates.com. So there is nothing to hide in our pricing. As far as you are saying why I am on the other side of the table in spite of declaring gold price, see, benchmark or a reference price are not to be enforced upon. Can LBMA enforce upon, in the international market, LBMA declare the price. Do they enforce upon this price to anybody? They don't enforce. They say this is our benchmark price, and then the market will find its own price. The benchmark price are derived out of tradable price. Please understand, the benchmark price doesn't come out of air. Benchmark price are derived from the tradable price. After tradable price, the benchmark is derived. It is not the other way around. And hence, there will be some difference between jeweler charging to the consumer, or somebody, probably we declare rates at say 12 in the morning and 5 p.m. in the evening. Then there is an international market running till 2:30 in the night. So 23 hours the market is running. How can you enforce upon somebody to decide the price that you sell at this price? Coming back to what you have been saying, I personally feel that the pricing has to be left to the jeweler only. When the prices of raw material, we have 3 different structure of duty. For example, one corporate may get TRQ quota where gold is being imported at 5% duty. The other may be a refiner. He may be obtaining or sourcing, or he may be a refiner himself. He is getting raw material at 5.35% duty. There are other jewelers who get gold at 6% duty. When the duty of raw material itself is different, how can you compel somebody to sell something at a fixed price or at a price which is one nation price? That is why I'm on this side of the table.
The point well taken. Thanks for having gone into the background. But I have a slight, I will give you a cross question, little bit. What I have to say is that while what you're saying, it completely meets a B2B scenario, a B2B situation. For example, when a Hindalco prices a cathode or a wire rod or a tube or pipe, the premium will vary, and such premia are always negotiated between the customer and the refiner on the table. I agree, there is ample leeway. But here, don't you feel that as an association, while what you're saying is it augurs well for the jeweler, but isn't it also true that if there is a single price, it augurs very well for the trustworthiness in a customer's mind? Aren't these two things slightly dichotomous?
No, I disagree. See, I may be a small jewelers. I may have bank lending where I pay 11% interest. Mr. Dileep can be a corporate who's a big corporate. They may be getting money at 7%, 6% interest. Why are you compelling us to have the same price? It's uncalled for. My cost is higher, his cost is lower. So interest is one factor. Let me tell you, let me give you a very simple example. Let me distinguish between a big corporate organized jeweler and an unorganized jeweler. I will ask the audience, suppose you are given an option to travel at the same price in Indigo Airline and Vistara, which you will prefer? You will always go by Vistara because additionally they give you food also, free of charge. Correct? So let us have Indigo and Vistara have a level playing field before deciding the price. Can a big corporate and a small jewelers have a same level playing field? एक आदमी सिर्फ चाय पिला रहा है, दूसरा जूस पिला रहा है. Why are you compelling them to sell gold at the same price or jewelry at the same price?
Okay,
The one jeweler may have air condition, the other may not have air condition.
No, I understand. Your point is well understood.
So on this I want to
Okay,
answer.
Cross-examine the witness.
So on this I want to answer. See,
and you can do likewise after that. Looking at
the
that
fuel cost in Indigo and Vistara are different. The cost of operations for Indigo and Vistara may be different. So what we need to understand is the raw material cost we are talking about. The value additions can take care of the rate of interest or anything. See, rate of interest is something else. Cost of infrastructure, when you are talking about a small jeweler has a cost of infrastructure which is too low compared to a corporate. So everywhere the mathematics will change. So what I try to make sure when I am talking as an industry body or an industry overall per se, definitely what is important is the trust in the consumer's mind towards the industry. And we have a lot of instances like this. For example, Dubai. Today, Dubai municipality gives a rate for 22 karat gold, and that is standard. Value additions vary. Everyone is giving at a 0% or 10% value addition. That's a different thing. But the gold rate, when a consumer is walking in, what is happening today is the consumer is lured by a lower price or a higher price, whatever it is. They are coming inside and then they are getting cheated in the value additions. So what I personally feel is, if there is a standard which is a kind of reference rate, as rightly told by you, if that is a reference rate which is taken by all the trade, and then we talk about on the value additions, it will be fair for the trade as well as in the minds of the consumer. We are putting in strong confidence about the industry.
I just wanted to add
Very
something.
quickly, we are looking at that watch, and Shivanshu is getting uncomfortable walking here. And
I just wanted to confirm one thing, that apart from whatever sir has mentioned, there is no enforcement to anybody. Okay, as we speak, the association or any jeweler is not enforcing a price that मेरा price ही आप भी चलाओ, वो नहीं है. Again, as a corporate or as a chain jeweler, I repeat this again, we are ready for any price band which as a whole the nation decides.
Yeah.
Have we ever tried for that? We have not tried for that.
So
If sir, as sir, with due respect to sir, and he's a veteran in the market, Surendra sir. See, while talking, he started his statement by stating that benchmark. IBJA has got a benchmark, which is fantastic. It has been recognized by India. So why can't the jewelers how is that we cannot be benchmarked? Okay, you want to do it at 92? Fair enough. You want to do it 93? Fair enough. No problem.
Fine.
But understand one thing. As a jeweler, one jeweler cannot enforce another one at all.
Okay.
It can become competitive. That's all.
So fine, I get your point. So I think I'll give you fairly another, go at them. Very quick go, but look at the time.
See, if a small jewelers start selling gold at benchmark price, Avinash ji, what you are trying to say, will he write value addition? I have 4% extra interest, so value addition 50 rupees. Is it possible? He can't say like this. I have a more holding cost. My insurance cost is higher. He cannot say this. That is why he keeps a different. He probably keeps a higher or a lower gold prices.
Understood.
Please understand, at the most, what he can add is only making charges. He cannot do anything.
That is value addition.
Sir, for
making
a jeweler,
charges is only value addition.
So it's getting heated up now.
Okay, for a jeweler,
that is inclusive of everything.
So for a jeweler,
Yeah.
I strongly believe, and I don't have that much of experience with all the veterans who are standing here. As a jeweler, your margins, your profits are VA, not on bullion. And I strongly believe in that. I hope you all agree also.
That's a very important argument. Okay, so here, if I may just summarize a little bit, on the right-hand side, I echo a consumer sentiment, consumer-heavy sentiment, transparency-oriented, and they have tried and tested and they're fine. Here, I also see a very equally strong sentiment coming for the smaller jeweler, that he should not suffer at the hands of somebody else who can afford to have a large sort of a margin. At the same time, there is an operational aspect of selling gold in various distant and far out markets, which Gagan Bhai has said. So I think of course there is no conclusion here, but one thing is very clear. Whether they have it or they may play it this way, they may play it that way. Ultimately, who decides? It is
The poll results.
customer or the consumer. So he will always win, whether it's 1 or 2 or 10 prices, we will find out on their own. So thank you, gentlemen. Neither you have it, nor they have it, nor I have it. He has it. So.
Well, everyone, but we have the results as well. Mr. Mehta, we have the results on the screen. How many people agree with one India, one price for gold? Of course, this ratio will continue to change, but for now, it holds at 63% with agree.
What is the vote count?
So vote count is 47.
47?
Probably half the house has voted.
Not bad, not bad.
The rest are all fence sitters, I guess.
Great.
So, well, thank you so much. While the reason we were actually requesting you to fold up is because we wanted to see if anyone in the audience has a question for you.
Hello. Yeah, I just want to ask the panel, I think Mehta mentioned the pricing in terms of IBJA is just a benchmark. Do you think we need to have a tradable benchmark in this market?
That is what we are talking about. One nation, one rate is the tradable price for the jewelry, not for the bullion. We are talking about jewelry per se.
Yeah, but the point, what I think you're making is there is a tradable price, which is the exchange determined price every day. It's traded. And internationally, there is the fix, which is, better than me, is all physical delivery auction-based price, which again is declared daily. So yes, tradability is an aspect which lends authenticity, definitely. Auction-based. LBMA fix. Yeah, but it's auction-based.
Whatever LBMA price is, it is not physical.
Shivanshu,
it is unallocated.
Your price is a future price. You are a future market.
No, I'm not talking from
you
my point
cannot
of
say.
view. I left that
It's a
hat
future
out.
market. It's not a spot market.
So just to, is anybody speaking, or can I just add something to it? So, the price which we are talking about, the tradable price, and let me repeat that. we're talking about the bullion price, okay? And at 9 o'clock in the morning when we open, either it be an exchange or, exchange is again the future price. So then I'll have to go back and create that into a spot price and then derive upon. The one price which is available, which is transparent and which is easily able to explain to the client is what the pricing, what we are thinking about. And I'm sure the association is also thinking. Why I'm taking association's name again and again is we started something thinking that the association will support, and we're still hoping that the association will support to have one India, one nation for everybody. And they're working also. And I'm not saying that
let me tell you, I think it is the consumer in all the market who decides the prices, and we should not enforce it. Suppose I have some inventory which is 1 year old, I would like to sell it at a lower price. Why are you forcing me to sell at fixed price? I have some extra inventory with me. Will I not encash it immediately even at the lower prices?
Right.
So I think this justification is not right, that we should have one price. We should have a price which is determined by the consumer.
Are you focusing on the wholesale price or are you focusing on the retail price? Because you don't even have a one price for India for wholesale markets. So even if you look at the exchange-based model, as far as the spot markets are concerned, there are different subcontracts for each location. You don't have a single price in that also. So how you will move from a one India, one price when it's not there in the wholesale market as well, as far as physical bullion is concerned. And again, when there is no participation in the exchange, you don't have any pricing structure. OTC markets, it's again bilateral, and that is between two people, that is being negotiated, that is different. So how can you have a single price?
So exchange has a single price actually. We have a single
exchange is
contract.
again.
So let me explain this.
Future,
You're right.
yes.
There is no benchmark price for even wholesale. Even there is no pricing for manufacturing. Even for export, we take a provisional price from the bank and then we export it. You're absolutely right. So what do we benchmark then? When we have to price, when we have to keep a board rate in the morning, okay? If I tend to start keeping Calcutta one rate, Ahmedabad in another rate, and Chennai some other rate, that does not show the transparency. As far as we are concerned, we are showing the price to the client in how is. I don't think so. Any jeweler or I've never seen any jeweler discussing more about the board rate or giving any the bifurcation or dissecting the board rate. We do that. We give that rate at what time and in the morning have we taken it. Now, is that a benchmark? That again, as a whole, we'll all have to decide what would be the benchmark. At that time, we will definitely move on to that.
That they are also agreeable with that.
And
At a
I think
benchmark
if I
price.
can add, I think India is working on EGRs, right? We all have discussed in the last couple of days. That is something which can be, once the liquidity builds into that, okay, that's where India automatically will have its own benchmark bullion price. And based on that, and based on the efficiencies of individual jewelers, they can add or reduce or whatever, but that becomes the benchmark. And I think the effort should go, and as what Sunil also was mentioning about, the tradable, that obviously becomes tradable because it is exchange driven. More transparency in that and more trustworthy as well.
Absolutely.
And that's where we all as an industry should work towards faster to get EGRs live and reality rather than just being on the paper.
See, whatever you're trying to do, being a business management school, it is very difficult for me not to intervene. All the arguments are well heard, but if you're going to compare a product with a service pricing like an airline pricing, this is not all right. Gold is a very different product and gold is a hedge asset. If you're going to say that, if I have unsold inventory, are you willing to sell your heritage gold at a price at one price? It's difficult. So it's a hedge asset. It's a hedge asset. It's a it's a luxury good. Luxury good cannot be compared, and hedge assets cannot be compared with normal products. Okay, so whatever you are trying to say, all said. So these considerations, I think this was missing in this kind of a debate. I thought I should mention it for a while. Thank you so much.
Can I just request for the lady to have the last word?
Obviously.
And let's close this, please.
She always has the last one.
Yes.